Welcome to the Young Crones Cafe, where you can get a magic brew full of all sorts of information, both witchy and practical.
Grab a cup of coffee and join us. I'm Elizabeth, a wordsmith.
And I'm Dave, a modern-day sage.
We are going to talk about various witchcraft and life topics from a slightly more mature perspective, at least most of the time.
Thanks for joining us.
Here's a little something different from the Young Crones Cafe to get you through until our next regularly scheduled episode. When Sue and I worked together to create what we call the Path tradition of witchcraft, we had to start somewhere. And we worked diligently to figure out what were our core principles and ideas about our beliefs. With the Young Crones Cafe podcast, we started sharing these foundational principles, calling them metaphysical kernels of thought, because we wanted people to give them serious consideration to figure out if they worked for them or not. After Sue passed away, Dave has taken to his role of sage like a duck to water, learning and challenging me enough to help others understand what we meant when we wrote about these kernels. Now we have finished recording discussions about all of them. We hope you have enjoyed listening and found some new things to think about. If you need help finding the episode and segment for a particular kernel, please reach out to Dave at youngcronescafe.com, and our sage will gladly help you with archived materials. And now, the big announcement. I feel like there should be a drum roll or horns blaring or something. We are involved with various energies and their cycles throughout the year, and we have decided to share some of our rituals, practices, spellwork, and individual stuff with you. These energies are intertwined, and their various intersection points are what we will focus on during each episode. With all this, there's quite a lot of things for us to potentially share about. First, a year of walking the path. First, there is our solar cycle, the passing of time through the year, marked by the solstices and equinoxes as the dark and light energies begin, increase, grow more swiftly towards their peak, and then begin to fade as the other begins to dominate. We have rituals to share with you for those times and discussions about the changes that are occurring as the energies shift around in their yearly cycle. The cross-quarter times, Candlemas, Beltane, Loafmas, and Samhain, relate to each season as we work with the different physical elemental energies. Each season where we live and practice, it seems to be easier for us to connect with an individual element. We plan to share parts of our times of ice cycle of rituals, which is what we call the ingress, congress, and egress rituals for the start of each time. We will also share the different writings and activities we work through during each season and what we are learning about ourselves and our practices. The lunar cycle, with the appropriate phase and energies moving from the dark nights of the moon to the nights of the full moon and back again through the waxing and waning monthly movements, are also happening. We want to share what we work with these energies for in our lives, spell work, and other practices. Next, a little from our liturgy. Along with our current ritual discussions, we'll be sharing different parts of our liturgy of the path that we have written over the years. We'll offer different blessings, ritual pieces, chants, praise poems, and psalms, which we define as sacred poems about human emotion experiences, as examples from which you can develop your own. Then, ritualization of the everyday. Next, we will share what we like to think of as the ritualization of the everyday, how we are walking the path, what our daily practices look like at the moment, what we are currently doing or studying, those things that help keep us aware that we are witches and magical seekers. Finishing up with a word from the Witchstones Oracle. Dave, our sage, will provide a single or 3-card reading using the Witchstones Oracle deck to provide food for thought in the days ahead between episodes. That's a lot, we know. We hope you'll bear with us while we work out the kinks. We're really excited that we'll bring you more of the practical into our episodes, as well as more mirth, always more reverence, and the inexorable wanderings down the rabbit hole. Until next time, may you find mirth and reverence in all things. It looks like the coffee cups are empty for this week. We hope you join us again next Tuesday, but you can find us at our website, 2youngcrones.com. That's the number 2, Young Crones.
We'd love to have you join our growing online Discord community. Check out our new Patreon presence. Just look for Young Crones Cafe. Through Patreon, you'll be able to make it to our Discord. We are also Young Crones Cafe on Twitter and Facebook.
Until then, remember, we are witches who work with energies to effect change.
We are believers in both immanent and transcendent divine.
We are celebrants of the passage of the solar and lunar cycles.
We are hedge walkers who pass back and forth between the worlds of the magical and the mundane.
We are seekers of knowledge.
And we are walkers of a spiritual tradition we call the Path.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.